Before we get in the video, please like, make sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, go ahead and leave a comment below, and click on the How You Can Help, which brings up the Family Friendly Game website and gives you lots of ideas how you can help us. Thank you. Hey everybody, Paul Bray, Family Friendly Gaming. This is FFG Sports. We've been wanting to get more into sports stuff, and so we're going to do a video about the Super Bowl. So Super Bowl 56. I got lots of notes here I'll be referring to related to Super Bowl 56. You might notice I am a Seattle Seahawks fan, so that's my football team, Seattle Seahawks. I also kind of like the Tennessee Titans since they're in the state we're in. This is my old John Kitna jersey. You can see Kitna. I haven't worn it in a long time. I like to see different teams win the Super Bowl and NBA championships and World Series and all. I like to see the different teams. I'm so tired of the same teams winning again and again. Oh, we got our fourth win. We got our sixth win. You know, it's like, I want to see different teams win. I was bothered by Super Bowl 56, and I'm going to explain kind of all the stuff that bothered me about it. It was mainly the officials' calls. Now, even though I would have preferred the Cincinnati Bengals to win, and I believe they should have won, I also believe the officiating impacted the game. Now, I know Rams fans are like, well, there was that, pass interference call that should have happened at the very start of the third quarter. I'm not really sure, looking at the rules, if that is technically pass interference. It was definitely some kind of a holding, turning the guy's helmet and kind of stopping, doing a little push off. I could see the push off or the shove. I could definitely see that as being a penalty. The problem was Ramsey wasn't actually looking for the ball. So if you're not looking for the ball, you can't really say that you were interfered with just because you were there and they touched you. But there was also a lot of hands movement going on, and the referees let them play. Well, until the last 2 minutes, and then like the last few seconds they let them play again last minute. So there's kind of that's kind of my issue. If you're gonna let them play, then keep it consistent to the rest of the game. Now I've heard from a variety of referees that they openly admit that if they make a bad call one way, they find out about it, they try to make a bad call the other way, they try to even it out. I think they went overboard trying to quote-unquote even it out, because if you pay attention at the end when the Rams were driving, they had 3rd and goal on like the 9 or 10, and they couldn't get it in, and they called this pass interference, which was a complete bogus call. Well, now it's half distance the goal, right? They wound up calling, like, if I remember right, 3 penalties against the Bengals right there in the end, and they just kept half distance goal, half distance goal, half distance goal, and then one of those penalties offset a holding, which would put them 10 yards back, right? And then the other thing is, with all these penalties they call against Bengals, it was like, oh, it's not going to be 4th down, you get a all new set of downs, 1st down again. And so that to me was like, it's very suspicious. Now, bear in mind, I'm not one of those conspiracy theory people who are like, oh, the NFL's rigged and they're trying to make sure the bettors, get their money, and they were trying to take care of the betting. I don't believe that. If you have evidence and you found evidence, then certainly present it, and I'd look at it. But I don't think it was conspiracy. I do think the referees were doing all they could to help the Rams score and try to make a close game. So you've got those 3 bad calls, and to me, I didn't really see the unnecessary roughness, because they do that all the time. If you have a guy who's trying to catch the ball in the end zone, they will hit him and knock him out of bounds and try and knock the ball out so it's not a complete pass. Although, it also kind of bothered me is his feet never got in bounds. I know I've heard people say, well, the rules are you can hit them in the air. If they're hit in the air by a defender, then it's considered well, how do you know their feet would have ever come down? That to me technically wasn't even a touchdown, some of the earlier ones. The last one was... It was definitely, but I mean, they gave them, I don't know how many chances, 6, 7, 8 chances to score close to the goal. I mean, eventually you're going to make it in after that many chances, and you bring them so close to the goal line. You only got to get, a yard, 2 yards. That's not hard to do, honestly. The one thing that really kind of bothered me at Super Bowl 56, on top of it, is I didn't see a lot of like pitch outs. Like, what happened to to pitch out. They'd say, oh, the guy kicked out, the running back kicked out and ran off to the side. But what happens is the pitch out? Like, you put all the receivers on the left side, you pitch out to the running back to the right side. All he's got to do is beat one corner, and he could be looking at 20, 30-yard gain because he's got I'll only have to worry about safety. So that kind of bothered me. Then another call I found out about later was when the Bengals had the ball with like a minute something left. They had a 4th and 1, and Aaron Donaldson was offsides badly. His arm and his leg and his head were offsides, right? And the referees didn't call that. I'm like, what? Like, that would have helped the Bengals get a first down. That 5-yard penalty would have given them first down, new set of downs, because they would have gotten the 1 yard they needed. Game may have ended differently. The Bengals may have gone down and scored a touchdown. They may have been able to kick a field goal because they have a really good field goal kicker, making like 65, plus yards. So they have a really good kicker. So I was like, that could have gone to overtime. Who knows what would have happened? But the referees completely missed that call. And again, it's like, so now you've got 4 calls that helped the Rams and really gave them the win. And to me, the officials definitely impacted the game. And I hate that. Now, there's been a problem with this for a while. It was Super Bowl 49. They weren't calling penalties on the Patriots when the Seahawks were driving. There wasn't a penalty called on Malcolm Butler when he sat there and knocked the Seahawk over and intercepted. And it's like, what? And then the Seahawks had done that to the Vikings in the playoffs. There was a penalty against the Seahawks. So I guess my biggest problem is the NFL is not consistent with their officiating. And you got to keep it one way or another. You can't sit there and be like, okay, we're going to apply the rules for 58 minutes, and then we're going to stop applying the rules for one team, and then we'll just ignore if they do something, but we'll call everything on the other team. That bothers me. I'm like, whoa. You need to be even keel the entire way. That's my opinion on that. I also was bothered by the announcers talking about, we're going to give Aaron Donaldson a ring, and we're going to give Stafford a ring. What do you mean you're giving him a ring? What is this whole giving him a ring? I thought he's going to earn a ring, not you're giving it to him. Because that's where the conspiracy theorists come and go, well, this is, the NFL's fake, the NFL's bogus. Because, that's why they say that, is because they sit there and say stuff like, oh, we're just going to give him a ring. Like, Super Bowl 40, all the bad officiating, that the officials years later admitted, yes, our official calls impacted the outcome of the game and gave the Pittsburgh Steelers a win over the Seattle Seahawks. They openly admitted it. You can go look up the story. So you go, whoa. Why is that even allowed? And then that whole thing was like, oh, we're going to give Jerome Bettis a ring. Wouldn't it be great to give Jerome Bettis a ring before he retires? So I'm kind of bothered by that whole, narrative or line of questioning what they say. I thought the halftime show sucked. I thought it was lame. I understand you're going to sit there and do all the lip syncing and they couldn't even come close. Some of, like, when Dr. Dre was trying to pretend to play the piano, it was playing and his hands are up here, so it's like it's not actually happening. I guess there's a controversy about Eminem. When I saw it live, right, I thought Eminem was just bowing to Dr. Dre, being like, Dr. Dre is my master and he's my boss and I'm going to bow to him. I didn't even realize he was doing this whole Colin Kaepernick controversial thing. So I was like, okay, Like I say, and it passed so fast. Like, oh, he's just bound to Dr. Dre, his master. That's what he's doing. So I was like, that's what I thought. But I guess I found out later it was to just the horrible Colin Kaepernick person. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Commercials. So these are the commercials I liked, and we're considering trying to do FFG reacts to these commercials. Uber Eats, the Alexa with Amazon, Keeping Up with the Joneses, and the Kevin Hart Sam's Club. Those are the 4 that we really liked. Really enjoyed those. I thought those were funny. Nothing else really stood out. I mean, the whole Dolly Parton, Miley Cyrus, something about the phones, do it for the phones. I was like, yuck. That didn't, hit me. But yeah, that was my opinion of that. And like I said, we're going to see about maybe try and find time to do some reacts to those, because those are funny. And Kevin Hart is hilarious. Kevin Hart is just so funny. If you've ever seen Kevin Hart before, the CIA movie, the 2 Jumanji movies, Kevin Hart is just great. He is so funny. And that's, in essence, my thought on the Super Bowl 56. Go ahead and leave your comments below. And I'm not trying to, belittle anything the Rams accomplished, honestly. I just noticed they were kind of just doing this whole narrative of, oh, the Rams are still behind, oh, we have to have the Rams win. You know, I question some things, and I'm suspicious, I guess I'll say. And I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I do feel like the officials kind of gave them the game at the end. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.